Good morning, pilots. As you know, the job of the student body president is to unite the students. Last year, my predecessor, Nia Grace, had this difficult task while many students were not in the building. She did an amazing job considering the circumstances and kept the Spelman spirit alive. As your president, it was my job to bring us together after being apart for so long. There have been many changes from last school year to now. Not only are we back in the building full time, but we face limitations as COVID cases grew, as well as the fluctuations in cases causing regulations to change day by day. We have been able to follow up on some old traditions and make some new ones of our own. We started off the school year strong with the first ever senior sunrise. It allowed the class of 2022 to bond before the start of our last year in Spelman. The last time we gathered as such a group was Ring Day, that being the first time we've been together since we were sophomores. Unity builds strength. I have made it a point to reunite our Spelman community. With our return to the building, I wanted to make sure as many of our traditions as possible were accomplished in a safe and fun manner, starting off with the activities fair. We had a tremendous turnout of students who were eager to learn about what Spelman has to offer. This event was where both new and returning students got a glimpse of what Spelman is all about. For the holidays, we were able to partake in our Give a Gift tradition, which helps children in need. We also held our annual Christmas concert, including performances by many of our clubs and activities, as well as the Executive Council as your host and your student body as your audience. In addition, we had a holiday-themed movie night that was well attended, and we hope to plan more of them in the future. Currently, your student government is working hard to answer Mr. O'Keefe's challenge to match SOSS donations. SOSS stands for Support Our Spelman Students, a fund to help students in financial need. As a community over 1,000 strong, we have the power to work together and fundraise. That money that we will collect will be matched and donated by. Do not forget that we are Spelman first and Spelman strong always. Fly high, pilots.
Good morning, pilots. It's Friday, April 8th, 2022, and it's Career Day.
On today's show, we have a performance from a junior who learned piano by ear.
And we learned from some of our teachers why they chose to teach here at Spelman.
And I've got your weekend weather forecast. I'm Isabella Gonzalez.
And I'm Michaela Fredericks. We're your pilots,
and this is your morning flight.
Are you ready to take flight?
On today's segment of What's It All About, Deacon John tells us about the significance of Palm Sunday.
Welcome back to this week's episode of What's It All About. Hey Deacon John, so Palm Sunday, is it really that important, or is it just a made-up story to bring us all to Easter?
Good question. Story? No. History? Yes. Important? Absolutely. Relevant to Daniel.
Really?
And he told Daniel when the Messiah would come into Jerusalem. Not only that, he gave him a formula so he could figure out the exact date that the Messiah would ride into Jerusalem. And guess what date that was? Come on, you can say it.
Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, you're absolutely right. And how he went in on this colt or this donkey without a saddle and people waving palms and stuff like that. How'd that come about? How's that history? Well, in Zechariah, okay, I've 20 prophesied that the Messiah would come into Israel, come into Jerusalem on the back of a donkey. Why a donkey? Because if he came on a horse with a saddle, he'd be a conquering king with an army. But he comes on a donkey without a saddle. That shows us what? He's the Prince of Peace. He's not there to wage a war. He's there to enter into this city triumphantly as what? Bringing nothing but goodwill to people. So what do people do? They start waving palms because that was a sign of dignity. It was a sign of reverence. And they take their cloaks and they start throwing it all in front of him. So the donkey doesn't even walk on the ground. He walks on the cloaks. This is really important. And what are the people shouting? They're shouting, Hosanna in the highest. Why Hosanna? Well, the word Hosanna comes from this idea of save us now. So the people in Jerusalem thought that Jesus was going to save them now. Save them now from what? Save them now from from the Roman oppression that they were going through, from all the taxes that they were going through. So this victorious entry by this guy who they think is a king is going to come and put them all down. But again, what happens? Jesus kind of throws a monkey wrench into their whole thought. This is what happens. When he arrives in, okay, and he goes into Jerusalem, and he goes into the temple, and he's trying to tell people he's there to die for their sins, they're like, I want you to the wayside, because that's why Jesus came into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. Not the high five palm, okay, but the palm of peace, the palm of you have dignity and it's going to be recognized.
That makes so much sense. I really had no idea what Palm Sunday was, and I did actually think it was about the palm of your hand. Anyways, tune in for after Easter break for a new episode of What's It All About.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Thanks, Deacon John and Marilyn. Let's get right into the news. Spelman will hold a spring open house from May 1st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tours will be conducted of the school by our stars. You must register online in order to take the tour. Check out our school's website for more information.
We wanted to say thank you to Carlos Nato for visiting Spelman recently. The street jazz dancer teacher instructed the Spelman student body and faculty in our gym. It was a great experience. Thanks to Ms. Asen of the Fine Arts Department for arranging this event.
The Shakespeare Monologue Competition is back and will be held this Monday after school in the Little Theater. CS1 will carry the event live on our YouTube page starting at 3 p.m.
Have you ever thought you'd like to be in front of the camera and host Morning Flight?
Well, now you have that chance. We're coming to the end of the school year, and myself, Izzy, and Stephanie will be moving on to college.
So sad. So sad.
That means we need a co-anchor to share the desk here with Jamie Madison Reddick and a new sports analyst and weather person. Do you think you have what it takes?
Tryouts are now open for Morning Flight. Check your Chromebook for sample scripts and either send your video audition to video@cardinalspelman.org or make an appointment with Mr. Drew to try out in the studio.
Auditions will be open until the end of the month. One thing to remember is that being a member of Morning Flight takes some serious dedication. Make sure you're up for the task and good luck.
Recently, Juliana Oles spoke with junior Ariana Solo here in the studio. Ariana has taken to learning the piano and she has shared a performance with us.
Hello, it's Juliana Ola here with Ariana Soto. She learned the piano over quarantine and she's going to show us a few of her songs that she likes to play. Here's a few questions. Why the piano?
Honestly, with quarantine, I had so much time on my hands that I figured, why don't I do something productive? And the piano on Amazon, it was a keyboard, something I could afford, and it was a good hobby to look into.
How long did it take you to learn a song?
Because I have no prior lessons or experience with piano, it took me a couple of months of repeated practicing to master a couple of songs.
So I heard you play it by ear. How do you do that?
I would look on YouTube and I would see how they moved their fingers and kind of studied it in a way to try to do it myself, and through repetition it became muscle memory.
Cool. Let's see. Are you involved in the band at Spelman?
No.
What songs would you like to learn?
I'd like to learn this song called Chasing Co. It's really heavy on the left hand, so it's kind of difficult to learn, but it's the next thing on my agenda.
All right, do you want to play us a song?
Yes, I'll play a section of Claire de Lune that I know.
We're done here today. I'm Juliana Ouellette with Ariana Soto. Have a good day.
We asked some of the current faculty members why they chose to teach at Spelman.
Why did you choose to work at Cardinal Spellman High School?
Well, I came here in 1990, and I just heard so much about the school and its excellence all the way around in terms of its community, its faith. As a matter of fact, the logo of the time was excellence with a heart. And I just loved its diversity. I loved the idea. It was close to home also, because I was actually hired to teach in 4 high schools at that point, 1 in Jersey City and 3 here in the Bronx. And obviously I chose what I consider to be the best school in the Bronx is Cardinal Spellman High School.
All right, so Mrs. Cullen, why did you choose to work at Cardinal Spellman High School?
Spelman holds a very dear place in my heart. I'm an alum. I graduated many years ago and came back to coach the girls' JV basketball team and knew that this was the place where I wanted to work.
Okay, so why have you chosen to work at Cardinal Spellman?
Why did I choose Cardinal Spellman? Well, I did my student teaching here at Cardinal Spellman, and I actually had the choice of either taking a job here or taking a job at St. Barnabas High School. But I really enjoyed my experience here, student teaching with the students, with the other teachers. So the rest is history. I'm here 20 plus years, so that's why I chose Cardinal Spellman.
Nice. Okay, so we wanted to know, why did you decide to work at Cardinal Spellman?
So I've been teaching for quite some time. I was living in Florida, and when I returned here to New York, this place was available, and it was the best decision I ever made to come home. I've been teaching here for 18 years, and there's something extremely special about Cardinal Spellman High School, and I'm so glad that I'm a part of it.
Thank you. So, why did you choose to work at Cardinal Spellman?
So I literally got a call from Mr. Borges, and he was asking if I wanted to teach because I wasn't actually teaching at that time that year. And so yeah, I felt like it was a call from God to specifically come here so I could share my story of why I'm living my faith to the students, and I felt that God called me specifically here to do that.
Wonderful. So we wanted to know, why did you decide to work at Cardinal Spellman?
Well, when I started teaching, there were no jobs in public schools, and a teacher here quit, so the job opened up, and that's where Ms. Faulkner's story with Cardinal Spellman as a teacher began.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stephanie Brown is back and looking at the start of the spring sports season here at Spelman.
Hey Pilots, I'm your sports analyst Stephanie Brown, and I'm back with this week's Pilot Sports. The boys lacrosse team had 2 victories in their scrimmage versus St. Raymond's, the first 5-2 and the second 9-0. The boys team also took a huge victory over neighborhood rival Mount St. Michael 2-1. The girls varsity lacrosse team had a series of phenomenal victories, one over Cathedral 11-3, the second was over Yonkers High School 14-2, and the third was a phenomenal 13-5 victory over St. Joseph Hill. Congratulations to Dwayne Brown, 23, and Brendan Carchipuia, 24, for being invited to the Via Reggio Cup soccer tournament in Milan, Italy. It was a great experience for both of them. The boys volleyball team took victories against both Sacred Heart and Holy Cross in 3 straight sets. The softball team took a victory over St. Catharines 7-2, and the baseball team beat St. John's Prep 3-1. Brianna Davis, class of 2022, of our girls varsity basketball team, was selected to the NYCHSAA All-League. Congratulations to Paula Rosario Lopez and Jonathan Graham for being named All-American Strength and Conditioning Athletes of the Year by NSCA official. Congratulations to our athletes who have been named Student Athlete of the Week. Jordan Clark of our boys varsity lacrosse team, Mario Pesca of our boys baseball team, and Gabriela De La Cruz of our varsity softball team. And with that being said, you can catch all the action live by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Cardinal Spellman Bronx. With that being said, fly high, Pilots.
Thanks, Stephanie. So, Izzy, we've had nothing but cold and rainy weather this past week. How's it looking this weekend, especially for the lacrosse game tomorrow against Pompon?
Okay, pilots, you've ever heard the term April flowers bring May showers? Well, that's been the common theme recently for this month. Today we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 61 degrees. Saturday we have cloudy skies with scattered showers and a high of 57 degrees. Sunday we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 51 degrees. Monday, when we return, we will be seeing partly cloudy skies with a high of 59 degrees. That's all I got for you now. Spring is officially here.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Morning Flight. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page so that you're alerted as when new episodes premiere on Friday mornings at 8 a.m.
Plus, keep up with all sporting and special events here at Spelman. You don't want to miss it.
We'll be back in the studio in 2 weeks with a new episode of Morning Flight. Enjoy that spring break, pilots.
Until then, I'm Isabella Gonzalez. From all of us here in the Morning Flight and CS1, have a happy Easter.
And I'm Michaela Fredericks, Fly High Pilots.
I thought you were going to say you didn't have to say the name again. Mr. Drew, it was about a fight.
Okay. Good morning, Spelman. Oh, good morning, Spelman. Whoa,
Here at
I haven't done
Spelman,
this in like
please.
3 weeks. Can we make that like a little faster?
Yes, mad slow. On today's segment of What's It All About, Deacon John does some. Oh, what?
Thanks, Deacon John of Maryland. Let's get into the news.
Recently, Juliana Oles spoke with two seniors, Ariana Solo. What? Oh my God.
Stephanie Brown is back and looking at the start of the spring
Here at Spelman, we aim to please.
Stephanie Brown is back and looking at the start of the spring sports season here at Spelman.
No, it's not the same.
Thanks, Stephanie. So, Izzy, we've had nothing but cold and rainy weather this past week. How's this weekend looking out, especially for the lacrosse game against Pompon tomorrow?
Okay, pilots, you've ever heard this term?
Y'all are sick for laughing in there, bro.
Sorry, can we restart that?
Y'all are sick for laughing in there, and Mr. Drew, you're only contributing.
Okay. Alright. Saturday we have cloudy skies with cloudy skies with scattered showers and a high of 57 degrees. Sunday we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 51 degrees. Monday when we return, we will be seeing partly cloudy skies with a high of 59 degrees. That's all I've got for you now. Spring is officially here. Plus, keep up for all sporting and special events here at Spelman. You don't want to miss. Until then, I'm Isabella Gonzalez. From all of us to morning. What? That's so random.
Yo.
I'm Isabella Gonzalez. From all of us here at Morning Flight and CS1, have a happy Easter.
And I'm Michaela Fredericks, Fly High Pilots. No, get out.
Stephanie!